Hi guys, welcome back to my XPS guide. Now I'm gonna review MS Nichol. He is a buffer, so let's compare him to Ramza and Lunera. Many of you may wonder why I don't compare him to Zhuge. Don't worry, because I will compare both of them later on the Awakened Zhuge review. Right now, unawakened Zhuge buffs are simply inferior compared to these three buffers, but that probably changed after his awakening. So as a buffer, the most important stats is your survivability and MP. Like you see that MS Nichol doesn't get any health boost, which is a bit downer, especially because his base health is also the lowest of all three buffer. But Nichol's MP pool is the highest, 50% plus auto refresh, which are very nice, especially because his abilities cost tons of MP. However, MP boosts on Lunera and Ramza are kinda useless because they get enough MP from their buff songs. MS Nichol gets 30% magic if you equip Road, but I think that's very low if you compare him to top tier mages who usually get about 80% magic. So I don't think he is a good mage. I think simply ignore the magic and search for a weapon that can increase his survivability and people. MS Nichol get 30% spirit boost, which is nice for his survivability, but I think he lose compared to Ramza and Lunera. Lunera gets insane spirit boost, which make magical attack kinda useless on her. Ramza has the best overall defensive stats with 20% boost on health, defense, and spirit. MS Nichol has resist against poison, sleep, and petrify, but remember that paralyzed and confused can still stop you, so you need resist on those. Okay, he also has charm resist, but there are only few enemies who can inflict it. I can only remember one, okay, a Hitna. Also, he is not a tank or provoker, so unless the enemy use AoE charm, then I don't think this one is useful at all. The last passive is Enlightened Guard. It counter magic attack with 40% all elemental resist buff. Again, you probably already have dedicated elemental buffer if you really need the elemental resist, because if you wait until you trigger this counter to raise your elemental resist, then you probably gonna die. Okay, like you can see that on stats and passive, MS Nichol is nothing special. So enough about stats, let's take a look on his abilities. So first of all, Nichol learned dual cast. He also has two good black magics, Waterja and Blizzaja, so it is quite possible to make him into a magic finisher if you want, but again, he won't be the top tier with only 30% magic boost. I think this dual cast is best when combined with Esper's magic. For example, if you pair him with Phoenix, he will be able to help you buff Earth resist and raise that ally. Not only magics, Nichol also able to use two of his stance abilities per turn, thanks to Link stance. Let's take a look on the first category, or buffs or stance. Okay, the 110% single stats buff: Iron, Safeguard, Furious, and Demonic stance. So each stance will buff one stats by 110%, which is nice. I know you may say, this is 10% less than Soleil's buff, but these abilities have amazing side effects. For the Iron and Safeguard stance, they also fill your allies' LB between 1 to 4 LB crystals. This is good because you usually want to buff both defense and spirit stats on the same turn. That means you will get between 2 to 8 LB crystals for all allies, including Nichol himself. The Furious and Demonic stance give you 150% faster LB fuel rate for 5 turns. This one is also amazing. It is only 50% less than Riku's pouch. If you have Misty or even Wilhelm, then you can easily use their LB to protect your allies, okay, with their huge damage mitigation. If you pair them with Zhuge Nichol, okay. So yeah, with him it is easy to use Beatrix and Knight Delita as a breaker. These abilities alone are already enough to make him a top tier buff. The drawback of these abilities, yeah, the insane MP cost. You need 144 MP per turn to cast both of these stances. That's not a little amount, okay? But again, these stances last for 5 turns, and you can refill his MP by using his MP battery ability, Magic Restorative Stance. It recovers 40 MP to all allies, and it only costs you 10 MP. So with this and your innate auto refresh, I think those should be enough to sustain your MP throughout the battle. Other than 110% stances, he also able to buff all allies stats immediately by 100% using Soulful Stance. However, the buff only lasts for 2 turns and it costs 109 MP, which is quite big, okay? This skill also gives you nice amount of regen, so this definitely helps if you don't have better regen abilities on your party, okay? Why you want to use this on battle? Okay, it is very easy because you can combine this with Impregnable Stance, okay? So this stance will give you 30% damage mitigation buff, which is really important on this day. Many battles need you to have both defense and spirit and 30% mitigation buff on the first turn. If you don't have MS Nichol, then this means you need to bring 2 characters into a battle. So for example, Soleil and Yan. Okay, if you use your 110% stances, then it means you cannot use this Impregnable Stance, okay? That's why I think the best combo for MS Nichol is Soulful and Impregnable Stance, okay? With those 2 at the beginning of the battle, your survivability gonna really high, okay? Gonna be really good, okay? So this is where MS Nichol is better than both Ramza and Lunera. He also has more risky buffs called Courageous and Fortune Stance. Each come with a disadvantage or break, okay? For the 130% defense and spirit buff, you will get 65% attack and magic break. I think this is not that bad, especially on the early of battle when you need to survive a strong attack from enemies. So you can combine this 130% defense and spirit buff with Impregnable for better survivability than Soulful Stance. And for Courageous Stance, you will get 130% attack and magic buff, but 65% break on your defense and spirit. This one is, yeah, dangerous because it can result on party wipe up, okay, because the enemy can kill you with only 65% defense and spirit buff on this day, okay. However, this one grants you nice MP regen, okay. It is fixed, not affected by your spirit stats. You get 120 MP split over 2 turns. You can safely use this if you have, yeah, break resist on your party. So pairing him with a hero like Shield and Art Veritas are really recommended because they can prevent the negative effect. Echo is also good because he can remove 2 breaks on the same turn from all allies. Even if you don't have break remover, using both these stance at the same time still mean 65% buff on all stats, okay, with health and MP regen. So still pretty nice, but not recommended on hard battle. He has more stances, but I think they are kinda niche. First, lone stance. This one will buff all stats by 130% to one ally for 5 turns. This means in 1 turn you can buff 2 characters, but I think Soulful and Impregnable stance will protect your allies much better because, yeah, I think 30% defense and spirit increase worth less than 30% damage mitigation, okay. So simply use your Soulful and Impregnable instead of this on 2 characters. He also able to buff all allies elemental resist by 70%. The pairing is dark and light, then ice and water. Very good, especially for dark and light resist because you cannot create bar spell for those elements. So I think those are all his important abilities. Actually, he also able to dispel the enemy, but I believe you don't need my opinion on that skill, okay. Use it on emergency. Zhuge Nichol also has good LB. On the maximum level, the effect is greater than his other stances, 134% on all stats. This one also remove all breaks from your characters, so you can use this to dispel stats break you get from Courageous and Fortune stances. Actually, I really hope if this give you break resist instead of removing it, okay, but let's just deal with it. The health and MP restore are also nice, so make sure you level up this LB. So yeah, please be patient, don't awaken him to 6 stars until you manage to level his LB up to level 20, okay. Enough about abilities, let's talk about his equipment. So his equipment is depend on what kind of build you want because his abilities mostly not affected by your stats. So this is why if you want to increase his magic attack to make him help on your offensive, okay, I think it's okay, but yeah, it's up to you. I will focus on building his spirit and faster LB fill rate, okay, but again, it is up to you. Pure White Blessing is good for him if you want to build him into LB users, and it also helps you maintain his MP because 10% more MP regen per turn, okay. If you want to use his LB as often as possible, okay, try to give him equip fist weapon. That way you can equip Giant Arm or Override for 100% faster LB fill rate. So I believe you can yeah, you can use your LB frequently, especially if you have cast that 150% LB fill rate buff in the battle. So enough about equipment. My conclusion for MS Nichol, he's amazing, and right now I think there is no support who is better than him. I think, yeah, Ramza and Lunera are not that good anymore because first, on 10-man battles you cannot swap characters. If a character die in your party, you cannot rebuff that character when they back alive, okay, until you finish your song. So that's not the case for MS Nichol because he can simply cast the stances again and tada, your dead member get his buff or her buff again, okay. So pretty good. The only character who might be able to defeat MS Nichol, maybe Zargabat, okay. Zargabat normal Arcarian like buffs 60% all stats, okay. Maybe after awakening it becomes 80%, 100%, who knows, okay. Let's just wait and see. And yeah, illusionist, I mean MS Nichol Trust Master reward is good but not that important. So I think don't spend your Trust Muggle on him, okay? Just wait until you get better alternative. For magic you can use Dark Robe. So yeah, just wait, okay? Unless you are pretty sure you need this, then go ahead, spend your Trust Muggle, but I don't recommend it, okay? I give him 10 plus plus out of 10, okay? I think he's the best buffer at this moment, Zhuge Nichol, okay? So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Final Fantasy Brave Exvius guide. Bye bye guys!